So what we'll be doing today now is logical functions. So what are logical functions in Excel? They are used to test conditions and return results based on whether those conditions are true or false. They help you make decisions in your work very well. So the first logical functions we are going to start with is if. This if function if. So let me copy some values. Let me type some values so we can work with it on the if function. Let me see name I have type and I have total. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9, 10. Okay, so let's work on this small data set. So there will be a time whereby we are going to work with real world data. That's when we are doing our data cleaning, so you understand more on those formulas. So the first formula we are starting with our logical functions is the if formula. That's the if. So if you can check our this thing here, said if checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value is false. So what does the if function do? It will either return if this thing is yes or this thing is no. Okay, so now I want to check my file type and let's see what this thing will do. So the condition is going to bring out now, like, is the fire yes or no. If anywhere it sees fire, it will put yes. Anywhere it does not see fire, it will put what? No. So let's see if it's correct or not. So now I've already typed my equals to if open bracket fire. What is our logical test? You see, this our intelligence. Intelligence it like a guideline. Is what it tell you that okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. What are we testing? Is our fire we want to test, right? Comma. So comma, is our value true or false? No, we won't use comma, we use equals to. You see, as we are doing this formula, you get to know um some logic. You see, in this intelligence it's showing comma, but here I'm using equals to. If I use comma, it won't work. So equals to what? Our logical test is what? Fire. Sorry, fire. Yes. Or no.
Tomorrow morning, party in the shop.
Or no. You see, it's showing error because it's what is not correct. So now let's debug it. What is wrong here? I said if fire is true, it should return yes or no. So what is my mistake? So these logical formulas, they are somehow complex, so we need to be very very careful. So what is my mistake here? I've made a mistake somewhere. Where is my mistake? Okay, I think I did not add something here. Okay, there's another mistake. Classifier. Okay, so let's see if this will work. Can you see? So what was my mistake? My mistake was I used, instead of comma, I mistakenly pressed this. Do you understand? And it's comma I'm supposed to use because I had not followed the IntelliSense, and the IntelliSense here is telling me comma. So what did he do? He said what? Yes. So when I fill it, can you see? So who can tell me what happened here? Who can tell me what happened here? Anyone? Who can tell me what I did?
Those file type that were not fire
Yes.
was or give us the no
No
responses
responses.
since we already coded fire for yes.
Yes.
So every other one that is not fire
Fire
give
has
us
a
no
no.
as a response.
That's correct. So anywhere does not see fire, it will tell us what? No. And anywhere it sees fire, it will say yes. So that's how the if function works. That's how it works. Anywhere the value is not, it will tell us what? No. That's how the if function works. So what should we do next? Let's do another example. Let's do another example. So the example I want to do again now is, let me copy this. Let's do another example. Please, if you don't understand, let me know. Please. I want to do another example here. What is the example? You will see that the formula I used here is almost the same thing with one I used here. just see. Maybe I'm asked to look for amounts that are more than 1,000, but these ones are no more than one. Let me just say that are more than. What is the highest number here? Lowest number here is what? Let's say 2, 3, 4. More than 200. No, more than 400. Okay, so now what should we do? What do I want to do? I want to return whether it should be yes or no for values that are more than 400. So I'll just say equals to if equals to if. So these are our logical test. This is what we want to test. Greater than what? 400 abi. Comma. Return yes. Comma. You see, it's showing value if true, value if false. No means false. Yes means true, means yes. Comma no. Is my bracket? Yeah. So now what did he do here? Can someone tell me? Now let me populate. Can someone tell me what is did here? Can someone explain? Can someone explain what I did? Can you hear me? Okay. Since no
Yes,
one
we
can.
can hear you. Okay.
I said, can someone explain what I did here?
Okay, so as you did for the other one,
Yes.
you only prompted the what was it called? Excel to return those that are more than 400.
400. Yes.
So that's why you have yes for those ones that are more than
More than
400 and
400.
no for the ones that are less
Less
than
than
400.
400. Correct. So that's how the if function works. It return yes or no. So same thing applies to ifs. We also have for IFS. You know, like I said in the last class, if for one category, for one um for one criteria, while ifs is for more than one criteria. So now what I want to do now, so let me type in another values for ifs. Let me copy these values. Let me open a new sheet. So now I want to work for the one for ifs. Okay, so what I want to do now, let me, okay, let me change. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to I want to look for speed that are more than 90 should be fast. Speed that are more than 50 should be normal. While speed less than or equals to 50 should be slow. Do you understand? I said speed that are more than, what I want to return, speed should be more than 90. um any speed more than 90 should be fast. Speed more than 50 should be normal, while speed less than or equals to 50 should be slow. So what are we going to do? We cannot use if. We cannot use if. Why can't we use? Because we are using more than one criteria here. So we are going to use it. If this is more than 90, comma, return it. It should be what? Fast. If this is greater than 50, you should return what? Normal. Normal, comma. If this is less than or equals to 50, it should be what? Slow. Then what? I'll close my brackets. So you see this one is showing slow because what? So please, let's be fast. Who can explain what I did here? Who can explain what I did here?
Yeah, good evening.
Hmm.
Good evening. I think what you did is like using if and else. So he's saying if something is this, it should show slow. Else, if it's else if it's this, it should show normal, fast, and the rest.
Okay, you tried. So let me explain again. I said what I did was, if this is greater than 90, you should be fast. Can you see? If this is greater than 50, it should be normal. And if it's less than or equals to 50, it should be slow. So anywhere is greater than 90, it will be fast. Anywhere is greater than 50, it will be normal. So anywhere is less than 50, less than or equals to 50, it will be what? Slow. So that's how the if statement works. So the if function, it returns value based on one or more true or false conditions. You see that if, the one for if is just for one condition, but for ifs is for one or more conditions. Do you understand? So that's how the if statement works. Please, if you don't understand, let me come again before I move to the next one. Is there anyone you don't understand? Anybody? If there's anything you don't understand, so I can come again before I move to the next one. If I'm good to go, just say yes. So in this one, this if is for one condition. Do you understand? That's why I can only return either yes or no. But this ifs, can you see I did many things on it? So that's the if, difference between if and ifs. Do you understand? So now let me move to the next one. So let me check. Let me, so the next one on our timetable is and. Ifs is not there, but I did ifs. So the next one is and or and not. And function, or function and not function. So now let's go to the and function. So what is the and function? And function in Excel returns true or false based on two or more conditions. Can you see that it's more of like the if statement, but and function is for two or more conditions. Do you understand? You can't use it for one. It's for what? Two or more conditions. So now let's do something. Is this same value I'm going to use for it? Please, if you are following me, let me know. If there's anything, if maybe if I should stop, let me know. So can you see what I did here? I said and is used for two or more conditions. So what I want to do is for type and speed. I can't do for only type. I can't do for only type because it won't work. So and function is used for two or more conditions. So what we are doing is for type and speed. So what do we want to do now? So what we want to do, we want to check if anywhere it is anywhere what we want to check now, if the type has fire and it has a speed of that is greater than 70. That's what we want to check. If the type is fire and greater than 70, so anywhere it not see fire, it will pop out what you know. Do you understand? Anywhere it sees fire, it will say yes, but if it's not more than 70, it will still bring out no. Okay, so let me make one of my this thing. Let me make one of the fire more than let me make one of the fire more than 100 so that I can understand. More than 70. Let me this one as 80, this one as 90. So let me zoom it so that I can see it very well. So I said equals to what? And let me show it equals to and. So can you see, checks whether all arguments are true and returns true if all arguments are true. So what is our first logic? If this is equals to what? Fire. If this equals to fire and is greater than 70, and if this is greater than 70, so what will you do? You don't need to put true or false. It will bring out the true or false by itself. It will return what? True or false for us. Can you see? So who understand what I did here? Who understand what I did?
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
From what I can see, yeah, though a bit confusing, but I think you try to say, okay, if you are looking at the combination of all the speeds that falls under fire, if they are more than 70, then it should bring back, it should come back as true. Because the first, yeah, I think that's what you did.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
I think there's a mistake there
Exactly.
because it's supposed to show false because this one is not more than 70.
That's what I was thinking.
Let me try it again. If this is equals to fire, then this greater than 70. It's still reading out true.
Sorry, why are you indicating only fire? Because I can see air, water. I don't know, maybe that's where the mistake is coming
Okay, let me. No, that's not where the mistake is. Others, it will bring out false. Others are correct. The only mistake here is the first line, which is supposed to bring out false and it's supposed to be true. It's supposed to be false and it's bringing out true. So that's where the mistake is. It's supposed to be false because
from. So you are saying that anyone that
C2.
is greater than 17 has to be false.
yes, if it is fire and
C2.
hmm?
You made a mistake, not B2. C2 greater than 70.
Oh,
See,
C2, yes, thank you. False. So let me populate it. So can you see? So thank you. So now it's correct. So fire type. So this one is more than. So what I did here, fire type and more than and more, that's like fire and the speed should be more than 70. So now if you look at it, it's fire. The speed is less than 70 here. So it's brought out false because the speed is less than 70. But here, fire, the speed is more than 70. So it's making out true. Here, fire, the speed is more than 90. It's making out true. This one is air and water. So automatically it will bring out false for us. Do you understand? So let me do another example. So there's also something they call if and. So let me do it again so that we can all understand very well. So this is how the and function works. So and it only works for two or more conditions. So we can't use only one condition for and, it won't work. Just two or more. Tab. So I said if this is fire, comma, then this is greater than 70, to bring out true or false. Can you see this one is fire but it's less than 70, so it brought out what false. So this thing here is populate. So if I populate it, can you see false, true, true, false, 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 false? All these ones they automatically false because there is no fire there. Do you understand now? So there's also something we call if and. You see, we can use this if and this and together. Do you understand? So let me copy this value. Is it really understanding? So what I want to do now, I want to check for if and. So equals to if and. So what I want to do, so if this is fire and is greater than 70 and the speed is greater than 70, greater than 70, so it should return whether it should be yes or it should be no. So can you see what I did here? It's more of like one we did the first time, but this one is with if statement. So with this if statement, we can either say it should be yes or no. But without the if statement, it will only show true or false. Do you understand? So the if function is, so it's the if function that will let us know that okay, this one is yes, this one is no. But without the if function, it can also work. That's either true or false. But if you want your own should be yes or no, we are going to use the if function. We can't insert yes or no inside and. It won't work like that. Do you understand? So this is the function of the if and. Or should I do more examples? Okay, let me do more examples. So in our school, maybe you know that like if he score more than 85 is a pass mark. Like if you score, I have score 85, if you score more than 50, that's your pass mark. If you score below 50, that's what low mark. So now let's do something now. I have maths and English, and I have what's here result. So here we are going to use the if and formula. I have 60, I have 45, I have 70, I have this, 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 I have this. In mathematics, so what I want to do, I want you to return pass or fail. Do you understand? I want you to return pass or fail. There are so many things we can do with our if functions. This one is too much. So now let's use the if and here. So I have equals to if, then I'll press tab and I also press what? So I also press tab. If and so if this is greater than or equals to 50, comma, and this is greater than or equals to 50, return what? Pass or fail. Or what? Fail. Sorry, I mean this. Fail. Oh, supposed to be. Okay, pass. Can you see? So what did he do here? Can you see? I used what? If and. So this student, he passed mathematics. She also passed English. So that's a pass mark. Here, she failed mathematics, she failed English. That is fail. Here, this person passed mathematics, but the person failed English, so he still failed. Because the reason why he's showing fail is because I use and. So the way I did it is that if the person if the person score more than, if the person score exactly 50 or more than 50, it should be pass mark for both subjects, that's maths and English. But if the person score below, it will show fail. Do you understand? In any subject, if the person score below 50 in any subject, that's a fail. Do you understand? Please, if you understand, let me know. Do you understand what I did here? If and. Without the if, we can't specify whether it is pass or fail. It will only show true or false, and that's not what we want. We want pass or fail. So with the if function, we can specify whether the person pass or the person failed. So there are still more things we can do with the if function also. So let me do another function with the if. Let me do another function with if. I have name. Let me copy this value. I want to do another thing with if, so that we can understand both if and very well. Let me use this as gender. Let's say male, male, female, male, female, female, male, male, male. So what do I want to do now? I want to know if they are either Mr. or Mrs. Do you understand? So I can just say if this. So anywhere it is male, it will return with what? Mr. And anywhere it is female, it will return what? Mrs. Do you understand what I'm trying to do? So if anywhere it is male, it will return Mr. If this equals to male, return Mr. Or what? Mrs. Then what? Close brackets. I think there's a mistake. Okay, there's a mistake here. Can you see? Can you see what I did here? So anywhere it is male, it's showing what? Mr. Anywhere it is female, it's showing what? Mrs. That's how the if function works. Do you understand? Please, if you understand, let me know so I can move on.
Yes, we understand.
Okay. Others go.
Carry on.
Okay.
Please go over that again.
About what? This.
Yes.
Okay. So what I did here, I only used if. So what I did was, if anywhere it is male, you should return it as Mr. But anywhere it doesn't see male, you should return it as what? Mrs. Do you understand? So, like, yeah, I said if this is equals to male, return Mr. or Mrs. And it did what? It returned what? Mr. So here that it is female, it returned what? Mrs. Here it is female, it returned what? Mrs. So that's how the if statement works. So what is the next thing on the timetable? Okay, so let me move to the next one. Let me check the timetable. Okay, let's go for or, the or condition. So what does the or for all conditions? It also returns either true or false based on two or more conditions. So if this one is this or this, return true. If it's this or this, return what? False. So it's also like the same thing like what we did before. So now let's work with the or function. Also all function return two or more condition and returns true if any one of them is true. It only returns false when all the conditions are false. So I have name, math, or instead let me copy those values sef so that you won't waste too much of our time. Please you don't understand anything. Equals to or. So what we want to do now, what are we checking? We are checking if the students either pass maths or English. So if they score 50 and above, it will return true. If they score below 50 in any, like for example, okay, let me do it so that you are going to understand. So if the students score 50 in any subject, either maths or English, if the person shall score above 50, it will return true. So what are we going to do? So we are going to use or. So if this is greater than or equals to 50, comma, this is also greater than or equals to 50, return true or false? True. Why did it return true for us? Why did it return true? Because this, normally if this is 40, okay, you know that this one is below 50 now, will it still return true for us? Let's see if it will still return true. Can you see? It still return what? True. Why did it return true? Because any, see, so what I did here is that if it's like, what I did here is, if maths, like I scored maybe in my school, we are only offering maths and English. Let's just assume in the school we are only offering maths and English. So and you are asked to pass any subject, as far as you score above 50 in any subject, you are promoted to the next class. So yeah, in mathematics I score above 50, but in English I score below 50, but what, they still promote me to what, the next class. That is why it goes true. But this place I scored In mathematics, I scored below 50. English, I also score what? Below 50. What will I do? The person will what? Fail. So the person will repeat what? That class. That's why he's bringing out force here. This place too, in mathematics, I score below 50. I never enter 10 sef. In English, I also score below what? 50. What will you bring out first? So do you understand? If you understand, let me know. Do you understand how this all works? So all, either any, maybe this or this, as far as one of them is to bring out true. But if it is and, it is both of them. Do you understand? And is both, or is any of them. Do you understand? So what the all works like, if any condition is true, it will return true. So now let's do if or. Okay, see, okay, let me do it in a way you are going to understand. You know that time we did if and. So now let's do if or. So how will we do our if or? Let me copy this value. How will we do if or? So what we want to do now? We want to say if or any student pass maths or English, he should be what? Promoted or what? Repeated. So now let's see how many students will fail this class. So what we are going to do now, let me type results. So yeah, I'm saying equals to if and or. Without the if, we can't put promoted or repeated. So that's why if is helping us a lot. You understand? So if or, this is greater than or equals to what? 50, comma, logical 2, and this is greater than or equals to what? 50. Close bracket. We've done what we want to do. We've done what we want to do inside that or, comma. So now value if true or false. What will we do? Promoted, comma, if it's not promoted, person will be what? Repeated, close bracket, close. So that's how many? Yes, 1 2 3, 1 2. Can you see? What did you bring out? Promoted. So who can tell me what I did? I want to be sure we are all following. That's why I'm asking questions. I want to be sure we are all following. So who can tell me what I did? Who can tell me? Please, let's be fast. Who can tell me what I did here?